Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is pretty much Combiner Wars Bruticus in 4 minutes or less. The name Combiner Wars tells you all you need to know in those 2 words, but indulge me while I add a few more in the name of redundancy. Take the concept of transforming alien robots, then add another layer where every entry into the line has the ability to form a larger alien robot by hooking up with 4 other transforming alien robots, then let them fight. It's brilliant from a marketing standpoint. Customizability, modularity, tons of play options, tons of character options. Buy the ones you want, skip the ones you don't. As a manufacturer, you can blatantly reuse molds with slight tweaks, and fans can't really be that upset about it because you're churning out so many characters that they can barely keep up. It's like the dream line of toys for the seller and the buyer. Bruticus is the perfect illustration of that concept in action. To create this combiner, Hasbro recycled 3 limbs and the torso. Blastoff, who is traditionally a space shuttle which caused all kinds of scale problems, has been swapped out for the jet mold previously used for Quickslinger and Fireflight. Vortex is the same helicopter as Alpha Bravo and Blades. Swindle is the same mold being used for Hound, and the torso, Onslaught, is a retooled hotspot. The only new mold on this figure is Bra, the tank leg. Or Arm, don't let me tell you how to combine your transforming alien robots. But again, that's where Hasbro has pulled off an incredibly clever feat of engineering and marketing. They've managed to produce figures with nearly 100% recycled parts that feel like unique pieces. It's amazing what different colored plastic and a different head can do. Add a spoiler, change the color of the hand-foot attachment, biff bang pow, give them all your money. As I previously mentioned in our Superion review, Combiner Wars gives you the power to make your own choices about which figures you want to buy, whether you want to be a completist or you want to stick to the rigid structure of which character is supposed to be a leg and which is supposed to be an arm. For me, a part-time Transformers guy, I collect too many other lines to go all in on Combiner Wars. Recycling molds makes for an easy pass on lots of them because I can just use the ones that I already own. I collect other non-Transformer things. I need to stay up on Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends, so if I don't use the recycled bots, I've got Captain America for an arm and old Han Solo for a leg. And I've never cared much for how Swindle sticks out in his orange paint job, so for me, Hound makes more sense here anyway, and I don't get too bogged down with the actual personalities or backstories as presented by the old cartoons or the comics. For me, Hound is a military vehicle and fits in with all the other military-ish vehicles. And since Alpha Bravo got kicked out of Superion when I got Quickslinger, he works as a fill-in for Vortex. The real question here is how many parts of a combiner do you have to call it by its combined name? Onslaught is the head and torso. Is that enough? Galvatronus doesn't even have assigned parts, so it's assumed that he's Galvatronus regardless of who he is combined with, right? It's the Onslaught mold that sold me anyway. Having not purchased Hotspot or any of the other Protectobots, this is a new mold for me and it works great in all 3 modes. He looks tough. There are some parts that I wish locked in a little better, but the overall effect of intimidation in all 3 modes makes that nitpick go away pretty fast. For me, Combiner Wars worked out perfectly. I only picked up the characters I wanted and ended up with exactly 3 full gestalts, 2 of which are pretty close to the way they're supposed to be, if not actually complete. And with all the mismatched colors and parts on Bruticus, I'm not even bothered by the mismatched hands and feet. If it ends up being too much of an issue, I can always drop the extra cash and buy a third-party accessory kit. If you're not a fan of Hasbro's work on Transformers because you've already moved on to third-party products, then Onslaught and all of the Combaticons are an easy pass. But if you don't have the budget for those expensive, delicate imports and appreciate the play factor, then these are must-have, so buy them if you see them, and if you see 2, leave 1 for the next collector. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below which gestalts you've been able to complete, if any. Hit like, please subscribe, and share this video. You know, if it came down to it, I think I'd make a pretty good arm. I do like grabbing stuff, but then I'm tall, so maybe I'd be a better leg. I think I'd get bored as a leg, wouldn't you? I mean, what can you do as a leg?
Right.